Unmuted. Hey, oh wow. So
Yeah.
we were muted that whole time?
Hey, let us know if y'all can hear us.
Oh, they can now.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
getting text
All right. Cool.
messages. They should be able to hear us now, I
All right.
think.
Cool. Thank
Yeah.
y'all
Yeah. My
for
bad.
letting us know. We didn't know we were
It's a
muted.
good thing y'all didn't hear us because old man granddad over here was having technical difficulties on his cell phone. So all right. Yes, she said she could hear us. Great. All right. So the people are gonna hashtag live and tell us where they watching from tonight, and then they're gonna hit the share button so all of their friends and family can watch with us tonight. Yes, that's what's about to happen.
All right. All right.
You got it? You found it?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Good job. Good job. Yeah.
All right.
Waiting on you, sir. It's only 8:05.
All right.
We
Hey, what's
apologize for
going on,
our
y'all?
temporary tardiness, but
Yeah.
Lemoyne is still not present. So
Yeah. I
when he
am.
gets
I
to
was trying to get something situated on my page there. I couldn't. It wasn't popping up for some reason. I'm not sure, but hey, yeah. So look, welcome to
yes,
another edition of Love and Business, coming to you live from the great state of Louisiana, where I am joined by my co-host, the one and only Crystal
thank you guys for
Robinson.
joining tonight. We're gonna go ahead and
We are
let y'all
live
go.
and in color.
This is what we not gonna do
Hey,
tonight.
I just want to start by saying about asking a question, really. So you know, earlier this week, I go to the barbershop and my barber isn't there. Right, he is on vacation, and he didn't tell me he was going on vacation, and he didn't cancel my appointment. So I go in, and I'm sitting there, and the other barber was like, "Hey man, I think your guy's on vacation or whatever. He took his girl to Cancun." It's like, "Oh, okay, you sure?" Like, I just got a text, to say my appointment's still good. So he, lo and behold, I called him, he didn't answer. So I'm like, "Hey man, well, I look at him, I'm like, man, look, I got something going on this weekend. Can you think you can cut me if you sure he ain't coming, type deal? Like, hey man, like, bro, why is it that I felt like I was legit, like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, because it sounds weird hearing when you say this out loud. I didn't know this took place, but I
I
mean,
know that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a whole thing, but I'm just saying, like, you have you ever felt that way when you got your hair done or something? You know what I'm saying? Like, the person that do your hair wasn't available, or your nail tech or something like
it
that.
typically don't work like that at a
Hair
hair
salon.
salon, though. I mean, because usually the folks I go to, they all had
They
their own
already,
place. So,
well, but
but my
by
family been
themselves.
doing my hair since I had hair. But Jaleesa said it's cheating.
That I can, okay. So she's
I
speaking
mean,
from,
but you
speaking
acted
of,
like it was a cheat, and I'm trying to figure out it's your money. You get to pay whoever
well,
you want to pay to
it
cut your
is,
hair.
but it's just like,
I'm so confused.
she said, yeah, I'm glad you feel weird because I'm feeling like you cheated and and I wasn't even there. That's what I'm saying, AB. That's really what I felt like. I was like, hold on, man. Like, I paid this guy during COVID. I'm like, hey man, I just want to make sure, what I'm saying. I know business probably slow. I'm gonna send you $30, type deal. Because you would have typically been cutting my hair, you'd have been getting that cash.
So, what do you do if you need a haircut and your barber is out of town? You just look wild by the head because
When he been
you can't go a whole 2 weeks
I
without a
can't, so I
haircut.
shaved myself. I would just get my T-liners and shave myself.
But your hair still look
It does,
like
but
you
I
ain't
would
had no
try to,
haircut.
maybe just wash it and press it down or
So
something
you
like
would
that.
rather look
Well, I wouldn't
beat
say
up by the
rather.
head than to get somebody else to cut your hair
I
in
ain't,
the same barbershop.
I'm not saying it like that, but what I am saying is, like, one, my hairline is already sensitive. Let me say
Oh
this, right? My
my
hairline is
God.
already sensitive. Let me
Let's
keep
run
it
away from this
100.
topic, please.
Let me keep it 100.
Because how do you have a sensitive hairline?
What is receding from your eyebrows? You know what I'm saying? It's running to the back of your head.
You just may have a lot of forehead. It might not be leaving. It's all about perspective. It's all about perspective.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You just have access to more forehead than most.
Well, I can live with that too. I like the way you worded that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I can live with that.
I mean, it's how you look at it.
Like I said, I have
clearly, according to the comments, people seem to think that it's cheating. I don't care. It's like whoever can
provide the service. But got access to more for you. You see that? You see ABC? You see how she tried to slide it in there?
I was helping.
See how she tried to slide it in there? But I mean, it was just like one of them things. Like, hey, like, man, I mean, I don't just go to Smart Styles and get my hair cut. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't one of them guys that get a haircut every 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not. I cannot do that. You
I've
know what I'm
never
saying?
understood the concept of the black barbershop anyway, though, because that, well, obviously, my sister cut my hair. And like I've told you, I have volunteered to cut your hair, and this could have completely fixed. Why? What is with the breath?
We did that. We did that. Remember?
No, we didn't do that.
Okay. Well, tell me what happened? Because I should have been the one to blank out.
You
Tell
acted
me.
like you acted very. Matter of fact, you acted like you was 3 years old when I was cutting your hair. You kept moving.
We didn't do
you
it,
wanted
but now
the whole,
you want to tell me
because
that
it wasn't
we
the
did
full experience for me to be able to cut your hair.
Okay, we'll talk about it. Tell what the experience was. Did you put the clippers to my head?
I did.
Did you remove some hair from my head?
I did.
So tell me
but
what this.
you literally every time I tried to cut your hair, you moved your head. No, not right there. No, not right, not like that. And then you was like had a mirror in my face, watching me cut your hair the whole time.
Because you a licensed
Barbers.
barber. You're a licensed barber.
You have to give me the opportunity to be.
I did.
One time.
At the end of it,
if I gave you just one time, where would we be?
Where
would we be?
We talk about a haircut. I mean, we talk about
we talk. You act like haircuts is life.
Listen. Did I not leave there with my hair uneven?
What?
I did not. I had a patch in my head
because you kept moving.
Oh, okay. So now you gonna hit me with the barbershop scene. You gonna hit me? Oh, he got a patch. He kept moving. You know.
Now, tell me. You know what? My sister is actually a licensed. She licensed to do hair, whatever you call it, beautician, stylist. I don't know, cosmetologist.
That's
right?
What they call. Yeah.
Please tell me, is it normal for the client to hold a mirror and move their head the whole time they getting their hair cut? I just want to know, because I know that ain't normal.
I believe that's an over exaggeration.
You was making me.
I was making you nervous, and I moved. That what you're saying? That's the story you.
That's what I was going to say before you rudely interrupted me.
Okay, all right.
But that is what took place. Jaleesa, she in the comments. She will tell the truth to the people.
Tell the truth. Shame the devil. Tell them what the law
know how you act. But if you think you cheated on your barber, then oh well. But you could have had an in-house barber. She said, no, we turned them away from the mirror, but I wasn't there for that haircut. No,
nobody was, because we was in a bathroom. I was sitting on the toilet, turned and she asking me questions. I'm like, no, you got to keep it even like this. I'm trying to make it, but it just, man, it didn't work out.
All I'm saying is,
it didn't work out.
You interrogated me the entire time.
Interrogated.
And you did not give me the opportunity to give you a straight line. And if you don't think it's the truth, let me have the opportunity to cut it again and don't do what you did.
Okay.
Yeah, since your barber done went out of town and didn't tell you, clearly he don't care about you as a client.
Oh, okay. It's like that.
I care.
I do.
I care that you have a little less forehead and more line. I care.
Well, you can't magic that hair back. You know what I'm saying? Like it just,
you don't know that
it was here.
You don't know
at
that
one point.
if the love of your life is cutting your hair. You don't know that love could bring your hairline back closer to your eyebrow.
You know what? The Bible says love covers a multitude of sins, but I didn't hear nothing about no hairline. He said a multitude of sins, but I ain't heard nothing about no hairline.
Okay, great.
If y'all think she ought to cut me up, y'all let me know. Y'all drop it in there. Let me know if y'all think I should go through, because listen, this will be some stressful stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have to.
I just want y'all to know how Lamorne acts when it comes to cutting his hair, because he really thinks that one little slip up is gonna just ruin his hairline. I'm just sorry, genetics.
It wasn't even.
Is what got the hairline where it's at. Not me
the regular well clippers or wall clippers, however you say it. That look, you skipped me somewhere. I'm
just telling y'all, man, dude is over exaggerating. Like, see, they say let me try.
She said she got the clips and the camera.
Hey. Please let me try.
All right, bet.
I have conquered a lot of things.
You're right.
And I do believe that I could conquer a haircut. Now it's gonna take me a couple days, but I can conquer this haircut.
Well, if anybody got some mannequins or something like that, they say what I said, I'm gonna give them some YouTube videos. We'll see what we can do. Maybe I'll let her line my face up first or something. I don't know. I don't know. Just to practice. I'm trying to grow you up.
Yeah, me and Focus something special. They want all the chances. They want all the chances. Man, but they won't give us a chance to cut their hair. I'm sorry. That tells me after 20 years of knowing you, I don't know if you really love me for real. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Would you let me cut
I'm
your hair?
questioning your
would you
love
let
for me.
Would you let me cut your hair?
Absolutely. You want to know why? Because it grow back.
Oh, okay. Well, hey.
That's all I'm saying. If you walking around here without a haircut, looking how you looking, you might as well look how you look when I cut it.
And I'm gonna have to get me some fitted hats. My head already big. AB, I'm not doing the fake hair, AB. That ain't. I went to a barbershop one time and the guy tried to hit me with that little spray at the end across the front. He did it one time, and man, I'm talking about I sweat too much. I sweat way too much. I woke up.
That's why I skipped on the clippers, because your head was sweating the whole time. Your forehead was sweating.
I was nervous. I'm talking about I felt like I was walking the green
mile. But he blaming me when literally his whole head was producing extra hair.
Man,
extra water.
I felt like I was walking the green mile.
All right, well, as green as it may be,
I'm telling you, man. Listen, that was a whole situation. Like that ain't no. Y'all know that y'all
man.
just
He
won't
acted
let
like I was like I was intentionally going to try to cut his head to the white meat. That is what he acted like.
Listen, it ain't your intention, because we know effort don't equal execution.
Now, Steve, you wrong.
You know what I'm saying?
Did not wipe his whole line off.
No, the chalk.
I kept the line. I was in the line. I can draw a straight line.
You right. Hey, on something. You right.
All right.
With a ruler or something.
I don't want to talk about this no more.
I believe
that's why your barber left and didn't tell you. Man. Probably because you so picky when he cut your hair. I guarantee you act like that every time he cut your hair.
Man, I do not. That's
so you just sit there. You don't say nothing. You don't try to look in the mirror and be like, "Hey, man, make sure you close that up right there."
Nah, I'll tell him on the other side of it. You know what I'm saying? Like if we go, like when I go back, I'll be like, "Hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? Let's make sure we do this or this." You know what I'm saying? Or whatever.
I'm telling y'all right now,
man. Y'all,
when it comes to a haircut, Lamorne is a different person. I'm telling you, would think he need a Snicker bar, but it's just
Hey,
you brought it up.
Listen,
you brought it up.
Y'all act like haircuts are
what men act like that? What men act like that when they get their haircut?
So do y'all just go anywhere and get your haircut? That's one thing. Do you go
anywhere
and just get
to go anywhere and get a haircut? That ain't what I said. I just said wherever you go,
you want to cut it. You don't. You know what I'm saying? You do.
No, you come in the chair, you sit down, you tell them this is what I want, and then you be quiet.
See that? I want a number 2 tapered.
Halfway.
No, man.
That's what I say when I sit down to Lisa. No, hit me on the sides with the one. Hit me in the top with the
You know the size of the clippers you want.
Yes,
girl. Please.
I bet you put it in the comments.
You ain't never. Your sister
didn't
know. This is your personal stylist.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
I bet she put it in the comments. She know them. I bet she know the clipper side, because I know the clipper side. She gonna fade me up in the back. She at the top. She gonna hit me with a 3, and on the side, on the sides is a 3, and at the top is a 4. I know. Yeah, listen, okay. And I sit there. I get my haircut. I get up. I say thank you.
Okay.
Now you, on the other hand, you like, look, draw this right here. Draw. However you get it cut. I don't know what y'all do over there these days. Men is
let me get a low taper.
See?
Let me get a low taper.
Anyway, we got a real topic to talk about. Lamorne is halfway upset because his barber didn't show up this week and stranded him, left him stand by, and he went and had a one-day stand with another barber, and now he feeling some type of way. Hey, so
because of a one-day stand.
You had a one-day stand with another barber.
It was 30 minutes.
And it's been on your mind for 3 days or 2 days. I don't know.
It's been on my mind.
When he come back, then double tip him
at 9:30. Every Wednesday at 9:30, I got a haircut appointment.
And he feeling some type of way because he didn't tell him.
Well, I'm just saying.
Then he felt some type of way because he had a one-day stand with another barber. And now he want me to be sympathizing with him because you won't let me cut your hair.
But why would you even put yourself in that position? Like, why? What is so? I don't understand. Why would you even want to do that?
That's just another way for me to be able to show my love for my husband,
or to test mine. Which one is it? You know what I'm saying? Which one is it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm on mute for the rest of the. You can mute my mic. I ain't got nothing else to say. Handle it, brother. I'm gonna scroll. Whatever y'all want to talk about tonight.
I'm just saying, man. You talking like it's just a, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just a.
I'm gone. Like, now see how he act about a haircut.
Like
okay, me cutting his hair is testing his love for me. Amen.
When you acted like
no more words tonight.
You act like if I don't, then I don't.
See. The people in the comments.
Bruh,
go ahead. Start your topic for tonight. I'm not here.
Hold on, what they got to do with it? AB on? Oh, because I get a haircut every week. I mean, I have to. Yeah, I get.
You don't want to see the roll up
I
that takes place if he don't get his haircut. So
yeah,
let him get a haircut every week.
I get cut every week,
which is why I
to make
felt
sure
like
I'm
you know
straight
we
for
could
my
have cut back
meetings,
on the
so.
expense if I could it because I could have cut it for the free. We could have barbershop talk while I cut the hair.
But you be so busy though. I won't be one to.
Right.
I wouldn't want to.
What's the topic for the night, sir? Don't even come here with the lies. I'm not finna do it.
Busy, you know. What
I'm so busy. I get to take naps in the middle of the day.
But I don't be here in the middle of the day.
Huh? Continue with your topic.
She said she'll teach you. Okay. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, Kayla
Oh,
said
look
she'll
at
teach
that.
the
Now,
Clippers. Yeah.
Yeah, now she come.
Yeah,
now she
yeah.
come in the comments.
Yeah.
Now you won't. Now you okay?
She said she'll teach you because you're not a barber. That's all I'm saying. Your heart may be in the very right place. I'm talking about purest gold.
Ain't nobody talking about no hearts.
But efforts don't equal execution. And that's what we go talk about tonight.
Oh, okay. I see you try to play segue, but I'm not even dealing.
Don't equal execution. She
Not
could
buying
mean all the good in the world, ladies and gentlemen. All the good in the world. Like her heart could be in such a good place.
I'm not regular. My efforts actually do go into execution. I ain't regular.
No, that ain't
but you didn't give me enough opportunities to cut, is all I'm saying. I gave you the best effort I had today that I did cut.
I believe it.
It wasn't like I was in here trying to, but that's what I'm saying. You came off on me like I was trying to give you a bad
But you
haircut.
wasn't trying to be coachable. You know,
that was
last
week.
You just wanted me to just stop and be quiet. Don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Don't worry about it.
Nasty with the Clippers.
No.
Hey,
Let me tell you though. I bet he'll feel some type of way if I go out cutting other people hair. Huh? Bet you feel some type of way if I get clean with these Clippers, and then I'm because when I get smooth with it, you can't get in my chair.
Okay, bet then.
Nah, talk about your topic, bro.
If you feel the need to go out and cut somebody else's hair, then I guess we probably got something else we need to be discussing. If it's like that.
No, because clearly you don't want nobody but your barber touching your hair.
I'm just saying. I'm saying what I'm saying.
Please go into your topic, man. I'm not. This is 30 minutes, almost 30 minutes in. I'm not going to do this.
If you get a lesson on it, I'm straight with that. But you can't not hear the way I want it to be cut.
You right.
And you ain't never cut hair before.
You right. Who else for me to try with for the first time but my husband? But let us not.
Well, you tried, but you got to be coachable.
I needed another two. Mike Jones. Yes.
Yeah. What's Mike Jones? Who's topic? Mike Jones?
Can you go to the can you go to the topic, please?
All right, whatever. So again, as I said earlier, I was just listen, effort is not execution, right? I made a post earlier today, and I was really talking about a situation that came about a while back when I had the opportunity to do business with an individual. And essentially, I was asked to do some research on something, and bring some options to the table. I kind of didn't, I meandered around and kind of lackadaisically went about it. Did you confess to your barber? I ain't seen him yet. I'm gonna see him next week. So
he ain't gonna tell him. He not.
I think the other barber gonna tell it, but nonetheless, be like, bro, I cut your boy up, man. You know what I'm saying? So what happened was, I go into the meeting with the client, and I really, I just lay it out as if, hey man, I went and I was trying to pull the tax records for this. I would talk to the county. I'd call this person, and I wasn't able to really get, the information or whatever. So he leans back and he's like, well, what did you find? Did you get the information that I asked? Do you have what we need to kind of proceed? I was like, nah, that's why I was telling you, what happened. I'm still working on it. I'm trying to do it. And he said, well, look, we're gonna go a different direction. I'm gonna pursue some other options that I've been, see if we can get this thing done. And for a moment, like I said on my post, I was like, bro, but you saw the effort that I put in. Like I told you, I was putting in effort. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm guilty of this in our relationship as well, right? Things don't go right or something like that. And then I put in effort for 2 days, and I'm like, hey, but you see, I'm trying. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you saying? Like, you see, I'm talking about strong 48 hours. And I'm like, hey, but you see, I'm trying. I ought to get credit for that, right? But the effort don't mean execution. You know what I mean? And that's what, in that moment, it was like, this guy was like, hey, I have something that needs to be done. You told me that, hey, you was going to come to the table with XYZ. You didn't. I'm not mad at you. I gave you some credit because I gave you the opportunity to meet with me face to face to to talk through this. You didn't show up. You didn't do what you needed to do. So I'm going to move on. No, I'm telling you, it's been times and time again that I can think back in my life, just in school, um, um, in the job world, where it's always been one of those things where, hey, I see you working hard. You know what I'm saying? I see you doing this, but you still didn't reach the mark. I think we've all been there where it's like, man, he ought to let me make it. You know what I'm saying? I got I'm only $2 short. You know what I'm saying? I'm only $1 short, or I only missed one item. You know what I mean? Or a teacher, like, hey, I only failed one question or something like that. Or everybody missed that question. You ought to get that to me. That type deal. Looking for some type of unwarranted credit. You know what I'm saying? Or grace, so to speak. That's what I think a lot of Christians label it under, like grace, right? Like, hey, give them grace. But it's a different thing when you're really not, when you're just not executing. When you have the opportunity, everybody has the same opportunity type deal, and you're just not executing. It's not necessarily fair, but I had grown accustomed to having some sort of emotional currency that helped pay the rest of the bill when I fell short from a physical standpoint. You know what I mean? So I came up with like 3 things that I was like, hey, these are things that helps keep me and keep other people out of that same trap, right? The first thing is not to overpromise, right? Don't overpromise. A lot of times you get in a situation because you're anxious for something, or I say you're being thirsty, right? You want to do business and you don't want to tell anybody no. So then they like, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? But then you like, yeah, I can handle that. Yeah. Just let me know. Let's meet. Let's talk about it. Well, you're putting yourself in a situation to fail, right? You're putting yourself in a situation to allow your efforts to go in vain, because you may not be able to execute what you're setting out to do, because that's really not your wheelhouse. But when you circle back to see why am I here, then it's really because, hey, I overpromised, right? I stepped outside and did some stuff that I probably shouldn't do, or that I'm not super comfortable with, trying to get business, trying to grow the business or whatnot. The second thing is knowing what you're good at, right? Staying in your wheelhouse, knowing and understanding your specialty. When you do that, that helps with number 1, right? Because when you know and understand your specialty, if oil changes is what we do, it's no doubt about it that, hey, we can do oil changes. But if somebody comes to the shop and say, hey, can you change, I don't know, this part that's on these fancy Corvettes or something like that, hey, that may take a special tool. We may not have that. Or somebody say, hey, man, can you manage a $100 million portfolio for this company or whatnot? I need to make sure that I have the capacity to do so. But you need to understand what lane you in, because if not, then you go set yourself up for to be to fall short, because you don't have you don't have what it is, or that's not your area of special expertise. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, I agree.
So the third thing is don't depend on the feelings of others. Don't depend on the feelings of someone else to be a part of the equation. Let your work speak for you, right? And when I thought about that, I thought about what Dr. Martin Luther King said a while ago, a long time ago in his speech. What he doesn't want to be judged by the color of his skin, but the content of his character. In this case, I'm saying by the content of your work, right? Not necessarily depending on someone else's emotion to help push you over the bridge, or push you over the top, to say, hey man, I see that you made a good effort. You made a good effort, because people's money is real. You know what I mean? Like they're in the sacrifices they make to get that money, or the results. Think about it.
You have no clue what they took to get that money.
If you paid a contractor to build a house and he was like, man, I made a real good, like, you thinking you like, man, I seen him coming through here every day. He just didn't have the knowledge, but he was making a good effort. You know what I'm saying? And now your floor is sinking in, or your walls, falling down or something like that, because he was outside of his area of expertise. I don't care how much effort you put into it. If it's not executed, then it all goes to zero. And I think that society, and I know in my society growing up, a lot of credit was given for effort. And that translated over to real life, right? Where I was like, hey, I should get credit for effort. And I was legit mad. You know what I'm saying? In my feelings, like, man, he could have gave, you know what I'm saying? He could have, you ain't understand
remember
that.
the days.
You know what I'm saying? What's the deal with that? Like, hey, legit mad in my feelings because the guy didn't want to do business. But the point is, hey, you didn't execute, Lamar. You didn't execute. You didn't come through on what you said that you could come through on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So by doing that, it gives us, and that's when I realized, like, man, that's a bad mindset that you got there, bro. Yeah. Because you are mad that this man didn't want to do business with you because you didn't come through with the service. You just
you wanted him to come down to your standard,
right? And just be like, hey, it's okay just to come with a bits and pieces of the information to make it look like that you are making an effort toward it. Like, hey, I'm looking into it now. I got 2 sentences to tell you, and that let you know I did a little research. I went over here.
So in essence, you was buying time.
I don't know, if I was buying time. I guess in essence I was buying time, but at the end of the day, that wasn't the gameplay. The gameplay was to come to the meeting with the information,
with the answers that he asked for.
Exactly. People pay for solutions.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. But I was legit in my feelings, like feeling like, bro, you can't give me a break.
Like he was wrong.
Yeah, like he was wrong. Like, man, you better take into consideration my efforts, bro. I went over here. I made this phone call. I mean, it ain't that I got unlimited minutes. It wasn't that I made them, when we had only free nights and weekends or something. You feel me? It didn't really cost me anything to do. But we would want to to make it to put it out as if it really cost me a whole lot, or hey, my efforts were super big.
Oh yeah, we're gonna over exaggerate the truth.
Exactly. When you just did a legit Google search, you know what I'm saying, a day, maybe 30 minutes before the meeting. And you come to the table with something that they could have Googled. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to be in business with somebody that they feel like, or at least paying them as a consultant or an advisor or anything like that, and they know more information than you do. You know what I mean? So it's important that we stay on top of our game. But how do we do that, right? You got to know your wheelhouse. You got to know what you're good at, what lane you want to be in, and not just be so thirsty that you going after this business, If you do screen print t-shirts, then do screen print t-shirts. The moment you step outside of that box and you're like, you know what? I might can do vinyl signs on these windows or something like that. Unless you with somebody that's coaching you on that, then it's like, hey, yeah, you setting yourself up to, because your machine can only print, a 12 by 12 sheet or whatever. I think that may be what it is. And then, but you're trying to print on a 6-foot window.
I think maybe people do that because, they think that, they may be good at certain things, or, they may have executed in certain areas. Case in point. No, I'm not a barber, but I legitimately feel like if I give full blown attention to cutting hair,
I believe
that I could actually
absolutely
be phenomenal at
I believe it.
Period.
I believe that.
However, I'm not gonna just jump up every 6 years and be like, I'm gonna cut you up today. And so sometimes people don't necessarily know what's in their wheelhouse because they haven't taken enough time to zone in on their particular lane to see what is it that they could be consistently good at, or consistently executing. And to me, that boils all the way back down to having a set of standards, or like moral values and guidelines. Like, it doesn't matter what it is that I do. And it doesn't, like, if I'm in the same situation, if I know, that I have to deliver something, to a client, because my standard is that I operate in integrity, I'm not going to come to that meeting without having what I had for what I needed for that customer.
Okay.
But if we don't have a certain set of, standards and moral values, then it's easy to just wing it. It doesn't matter what your wheelhouse is, right? Like you could very well, like that could be your thing. But if that particular day, you decided, you know what I'm saying, not to operate in that lane the way that you should, is not necessarily that, in all cases that people can't do it. It's just we have to attach whatever it is that we're good at to standards and moral values, so that whether we feel like doing it or not, we do it to the best of our ability. Like we actually do execute through to it. And, for me, that's what holds me solid to say, even if in some case that I did overpromise, because I operate in integrity, I now got to go out and give
make it right.
everything that I said.
So you got to make the lie the truth.
Well, if I'm operating in integrity, I'm not going to lie.
Well, I'm just saying, you just could have been in over your head, you know what I'm saying?
If I didn't know, but what I could do in that situation, that's what I'm saying. For me, it would literally go back to my foundational standards.
Yeah.
If I realize in a situation that I have overpromised, I'm going to call back and say, hey, this looks like I've gotten in a little over my head. I'm not going to be able to do this.
So you'll humble yourself.
Absolutely.
And say, okay,
because I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't have to go and do something that I'm not good at doing and still risk my, my reputation just because I said that I would do a thing. Yeah. But in good intention, I said, I'll do this.
Yeah.
I can't execute though, because I don't have this piece, or these aren't coming together the way that they should. Let me make it known.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it known.
I think I would rather people do that. Yeah, like
but most of the time, the people that would rather people do that don't do that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like I just be like, hey man, you just tell me that you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Or that you couldn't do it instead of,
But would you?
Yeah, it depends on what it was. It depends on what it was.
So that's sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Well, if I felt like I could,
I think some people don't come and admit it because they want to save face. They don't want to look away.
I think that's what I'm saying.
And I'm like, I really do think that people will respect it more, especially when you're talking about doing business. People will really respect you as a business person more if you just tell the truth about the matter, instead of making them feel away and then disappoint them.
Right.
Because in that case, then you may risk the chance of not keeping them, as a customer, or not, having them as a return.
Right. No, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. That's a lady messaged me on yesterday and was asking about us consulting with her son. Mm-hmm. And he has an online store. And I was like, hey, really, that ain't, that's really not the space that we specialize in. So I don't want to take your money, his money, or anything like that. And then it's, that's not the wheelhouse that we play in. Business structure, building leadership teams and things like that. That's kind of where we want to be. That type thing. But somebody would have been like, oh yeah, no, let's do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm not interested in swiping nobody's card just for the sake of doing it.
Right.
Like if I know it can be done, but I don't have anything necessarily in place, I'll let you know that too. Hey, let me work something out. I'll get back to you, see if it's something that I can do. But I'm not trying to stretch myself so far wide, like you said, stretching yourself thin just to say, that I acquired another customer.
Yeah.
That definitely ain't my deal.
And I think what tends to happen too is an adverse effect with this whole situation, because I felt like I was in my feelings because the guy didn't accept my excuses, right? Because he didn't, he wasn't on my team and understood where I was coming from, or gave me grace. Because I felt like that, I can see other situations where I've given unmerited, grace to someone because I felt like they put effort into it, even though they didn't execute the way that they should have.
Like when that dude put up the wrong tile.
Like when that guy put the wrong tile on the wall. Yep. He put the glossy on the wall and it should have been the matte.
And then you felt so bad for his excuse that you helped him and paid him.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
We gonna go back there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have to revisit some of these situations so that I can know, what I'm saying, like where and how this is applicable to my life. You know what I'm saying? Because I need to be 100 with myself. I need to know, like, hey, this is legit, like how I operate in this moment. So now when the moment comes back to me again, then I can know, okay, well, look, no, bro, you don't need to even dabble into none of your feelings. What's the facts? Did they execute on the job?
Yeah, it's dangerous to run a business on a feeling. It's super dangerous, because then your standards change with every situation.
Yeah.
Then there is no structure. I don't. For me, whether it's a blood relative or a complete stranger. I have to be able to operate the exact same way and follow the standards that I've set in place for business in order for it to work.
Yeah.
Because if a feeling goes in place, now I'm risking the chance of this person being done this way, this person being done this way, another person come and Lord forbid they have conversations. You know what I'm saying?
Super inconsistent like that.
Totally inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't I wouldn't want to be serviced that way. And so I think that it's super important in business. If you are a business owner, to make sure that the decisions that you're making as it relates to your customers is, hey, how can I find a way to operate across the board the same way, right? If there's discounts involved, how do we utilize those discounts across the board? You know what I'm saying? Like how do we make that consistent to where when this person walk in, they expect the price, this person walk in, they expect the price, right? Like how are you operating it consistently? Because if you operating off of a feeling, are you having a good day today?
Right.
Then everybody gets treated well. When you're not having a good day, ain't none of y'all getting no discounts. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you really do have to have some type of, some type of standard in place to, actually operate.
Right. And that does minimize a lot of the thinkings and the feelings that come along with it. As Sean Strickland, one of our coaches, would say, that thinking feeling cycle is real. Like the thoughts that you're thinking produces a feeling, what I'm saying, which then produces more thoughts. And then, you start to act accordingly. Right. And that's just unhealthy. So when faced with a situation where it's like, hey, here's the task. Everybody knows what the criteria is. Like, man, I was just one short. I was just trying to, I had this situation.
But none of that ever matters if you already know, what I'm saying, if you know where the goalpost is, right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can't win the Super Bowl if you kicking a field goal and it dropped right before the goalpost.
They ain't gonna give
you them nobody coming back out here to give you no Super Bowl trophy because you know what I'm saying? Exactly. You dropped the ball right there before you already know what the goalpost line is. What the goal is. When you signed up for the game, you knew, what I'm saying, what it was going to take to get that 3 points.
Yeah.
You know what it take to get the 6 points for the touchdown. You know what it take to get the, the extra point.
Yeah.
And so in business, it is absolutely no reason for us to be able to, sit in front of our customers and have an expectation that they would understand that we fell short of the goalpost.
Yeah.
Because we already know what the rules are. And it's super important as a business owner to know, hey, what's the rules of the game here? How is it that I should function inside of these, these rules? And again, when different customers come in the door, you don't act like a field goal is now worth 5 points.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You still perform that same way. And that way, it can't be no feelings involved in.
Right.
Right? If you know for sure it's 3 points for this field goal, I can't feel a thing. If it go over that goalpost, I did what I was supposed to do.
If it falls short and they wave it off, then
I lost.
Yeah. But I just really think, I don't know what it is about it. Have you ever been in a situation where you was like, man, they could have done this, or if you speed and you get in a police officer pull you over, like, man, he could have let me off. I was only going 5 miles over the speed limit. You know what I'm saying? Or I ain't got a ticket in 20 years, type deal. He could have let me go, man. I told him I was on my way to something important or whatnot.
No, I actually just be real mad that he out there doing his job. I'd be like,
mad.
God, he got me. They pull on over. Because what else? You know what I'm saying? I'm only mad, that I was operating outside of the rules of the game.
And that's what
I'm mad. I'm mad that I got caught operating outside
the rules of
the game. I'm mad obviously that he out here doing his job. But at the end of the day, I can't be, I can't be feeling like, man, if only you would have been, a little bit more lenient. I was only going 5 over, when I knew the rules of the game said 70.
Yeah.
So even if he got me at 71, I know the rules of the game, but of course we would be mad.
Absolutely.
And the state trooper for pulling us over doing 71. We'd be like, this man lost his mind.
because he
pulled me over at
but the
70.
rules of the game.
Be upset because you rolled at the stop sign, didn't fully stop.
Didn't-
He hit you with it.
wasn't
You
nobody
like,
coming.
bro, wasn't nobody coming though. I mean, nobody. I do this every day at the stop sign. You never hear.
Like the reason to stop is to be safe. Was nobody coming? It was
Nobody.
still safe.
It wasn't even a squirrel crossing the street.
Guys, y'all let me know if y'all were to get pulled over by a police officer, state trooper, police officer, whatever. Would you try to make an excuse as to why you were doing what you was doing, or would you just be like, "Hey, you know what? You got me. Write me the ticket or write me a warning if you desire to."
I just
Like,
roll
let
my
me know.
eyes and let
me
the
know.
window down and stick my stuff out. I don't
Yeah.
even look at it. I don't.
It could be a her.
I ain't never got
Yeah.
pulled over by her.
Me
So
neither.
it's always been a him.
Dang, well, yeah, I guess
So I don't look at him. I just
just like that. Man, I'm just saying, man. So AB, you saying you've been like, "Hey, bro, you got me. It is what it is." It is
I
what
mean,
it is.
what's what? Well,
I mean,
yeah. I don't. She said nope.
be on your way. So I told her my husband was a cop and he let me go. Yeah, I mean, see, that's what I probably would have, been like, "Hey, man, do you know such and such?" You know what I'm saying? But
That girl said she gave an excuse when she was younger, but now she got ticket money.
oh. She got her fair share of them too.
She did. We
I
all
think
did.
it's because she didn't want to get that guy her number.
When we was going to college, we all got a lot of tickets. We got out of a lot of tickets too, though. Praise
But
the
I
Lord.
just, but I think about it, right? In those moments, we would really be a little in our feelings, like, man, he put, you know what I'm saying? He pulled me over for doing XYZ. There's some people over here riding the shoulder of the lane, and where they at when these people coming through? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm obviously I'm a little agitated by it, but I also think that putting out those types of excuses only builds a great muscle to continue to do so. And like it doesn't, like when you bring up a random situation about tickets, and I think about, like I really still don't respect, the rules of the road to that degree because I was accustomed to not having to pay them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So because I didn't get the consequences, you know what I'm saying? Then of course there may be 2 or 3 other ones, you know what I'm saying, behind them. So if the people start accepting our excuses, then voila. It's okay. It's amazing how more we can produce. It's the same as executing and then making the excuse. The more you do of each, the more you get. So if I practice executing more, I'll become better at that. If I practice, rehearsing excuses, then I can most guarantee you'll learn how to sing a long song of them.
And I'm talking about voice inflection and everything. You'll know how to get,
and you'll start building this affinity, you know what I'm saying, to other people's feelings. And now you're expecting other folks to fall into these excuses as valid. Because in your brain, because you got to think about it, our brain is a powerful tool. It doesn't know the difference.
Right.
So the more excuses that we start to tell, the more of this foolishness that we actually start to believe.
Accept it as the truth.
So it accepts it as the truth. You know what I'm saying? That's the same way. I don't know what we was listening to with it. They were actually talking about that, how some people, they think about working out a lot.
Yeah.
To the point that they actually thought that they did. So they satisfied with the fact that they didn't watch enough videos of people working out, but they never got up. And so the level of power that we have in our brains, if you practice giving excuses, eventually your brain is going to think that you're an executionist.
And you ain't. You're an effort giver.
You're an excuser.
You're an excuser. Executioner versus an excuser.
You're an excuser.
Okay, I can.
Yeah, AB, I do the same thing with eating well. I'm much better now. You know what I'm saying? How you go to the store and you just buy a whole bunch of stuff that's good to eat, but you never, like, all of it expired, all the fruit rot in the refrigerator. But you going out to buy food to eat every day. But you like, I went to the store and I bought a box of spinach.
And I can think about that from a relationship tip too, because I can see myself be like, hey, but I did this, you know what I'm saying, all last week. You know what I'm saying? And box check, and then it'd be like, bro, we've been in this thing for 15 years, and you saying you did this last week?
Well, again, the brain doesn't realize that you may be checking a box, but it's in the wrong category. Like the brain just wants to check the box.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The brain wants to say that I did something. It doesn't matter that it's the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? Like because the human nature wants to do the easiest thing, the fastest, and to receive accolade, right? Like, if you think about it, if we become accustomed to being okay with giving excuses, not necessarily full-blown receiving them, but if we become accustomed to giving excuses and then our brain triggers on to say it's okay, right? It's okay to do that. And then it goes and finds a way to make you feel even better about giving it by checking a box. It doesn't matter what category you place it in. Yeah. You can say, you know what I'm saying? You can say we playing checkers. And if you go and make a move in chess, you like, I did it. I did. I'm telling you, it's the weirdest situation, right? Like, but that is how our brains work. That's how our brains work, man. Like, hey, don't hurt the messenger here. Okay,
I'm not.
I am just saying what I'm saying, and I'm talking about what I'm talking about.
Okay.
The excuses that we make, eventually, I feel anyway, that they start to eat away, at how we should, I guess, operate is what I'm thinking. Like operate as an individual. It's like it completely changes the framework of how we should think, be, or act in such a way. But we have to undo it by starting to feed ourselves truths. Because what does LaShawn always say? Excuses are reasons wrapped in lies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I heard somebody else say it's a down payment on a lie.
It's a down payment on a lie. And so really and truly, when we unfold the excuse, we have to get to the meat of the matter. Like, okay, well, let's say after we said all that we said, did it get us to the end result that we were supposed to have? If the answer is no, then we're going to go ahead on and call that what it is.
An excuse.
It's an excuse.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I do think I do.
They quiet in the chat, but I'm telling you right now, I know these folks be feeding themselves excuses, talking about I said what I was gonna say. I mean, it's September. Tell me how many times people have told themselves excuses as to why they didn't do what they said they were gonna do in January.
Yeah.
I don't. At this point, I'm telling you, don't give me no more resolutions. Don't give it to me. Just be resolute. Okay.
Because no resolution, just
like be definite in your actions and do what you say you're gonna do.
Definite in your purpose.
Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Just do it.
Yeah.
So if you have issues, right, with constantly making excuses in whatever category it is that you feel like, man, I'm stacking them up over here, right? Instead of saying things about it, start to put actions in that direction. Because sometimes we can't even trust what comes out of our mouths if we've been utilizing excuses, in certain categories. Yeah. Like I know the certain areas where I'm just like, this ain't my zone. Like checking emails and paying bills. Ain't my zone. I will say out loud, I'm gonna pay these bills today.
Yep, sure will.
Got the money in the bank and won't swipe.
Sure do.
Just because that's like stuff that get on my nerves. You know what I'm saying? For what I can't put on auto pay. I'm like, oh Lord, how do y'all still ask for checks? I cannot. So then the ripple effect is I have to deal with a late pay because I hate.
Hold on, what we pay late?
This ain't what we're talking about. I'm talking about what I'm talking about.
We're gonna come back to that because we ain't even.
But I'm just saying that we put stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll make an excuse. Like I'm gonna get to it such and such, or I'm not doing it because I hate writing checks. Well, the truth of the matter is I still got to write the check and do the work.
Yeah.
I still have to execute this deal. But yet and still, because I don't like the process of how I have to do it, I won't do it. And that's the reason why we make the excuses, because we don't like the process in between what it takes to actually do those steps, right? That gap in between the start and the finish. That's why we make the excuse.
Is it the process, or would you say the process is the work too? Because I'm thinking like,
that's what I mean.
Mentally strong enough to, just to be like, hey man, I gotta sit here and do this. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta do this. I need to fill out this spreadsheet. I need to do this, and then it's like, oh yeah, but hey, I put last month's on there. You know what I'm saying? Versus
but like you didn't finish the job. You did not finish the job. And that's the thing, is that the excuse blinds us from seeing the truth. Like we got to be able to, get over that hump, because the excuse is really just there as an obstacle. It's that piece that won't allow us to see the finish line on the other end of it.
But most of us think that the excuse is the finish line. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I've stopped there. Like I'm like, hey, you know what? No, man, I couldn't do it because it was raining. I couldn't make it. You gonna melt
in the rain?
It rained, and I just, I didn't make it. Or man, my internet was slow. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have cell phone,
Yeah.
devices or something like that. I mean, it just could be
Yeah, I
anything.
had somebody that told me they didn't know the number to the
It sure did.
to the
So they didn't
business,
know
and
the
that's why
number
they
to-
couldn't
yeah.
tell us that they wasn't on the way. They were late.
Exactly.
I said, now you mean to tell me if you was looking for the
name of the business, and then you couldn't.
you mean
yeah.
tell me you couldn't Google
Yeah.
the place of which you work that's
That's-
listed
yeah.
online everywhere?
Exactly.
I could be in Los Angeles and Google,
Meineke and Slidell.
and it's
And
gonna
it's gonna-
pop up
it's gonna
with the
pop
phone
up.
number.
He ain't called because he said he ain't know the number.
Not to mention that the uniform shirts of which you work got it on the shirt.
Got it on the back, printed, string printed
Excuses
on the back.
Excuses.
Yeah, but he thought that was okay. He thought that was plausible.
Thought it was okay to say I couldn't call because I didn't have the number saved to the
Right.
business, and I lost the.
Man, listen, I can think back and hear because when she say that, I'm thinking like, man, how many people in this dude life like accept these excuses? You know what I'm saying? And I can think
Clearly
back
everybody.
as to how me having the personality that I have, I cost us $27,311
Oh yeah, I remember.
because that guy just kept making excuses, and I literally was like, man, look, I'm trying to help you. Like, listen, I know you got your child support stuff that you got going on, but I need you to do this work. I'm trying to give you chance out of chance.
Meanwhile,
keep
I'm
coming
behind
up.
the scenes, setting up all documentation to take his
Yeah.
contractor's license.
Man,
Why?
yeah, she-
Because he
yeah.
don't deserve to work. You're
Yeah.
not finna lie and take $27,000 from me.
Man, $27,311.
That you're not gonna reap the consequences.
Yeah,
no.
I'm like,
Lamorne over here accepting all these excuses. Next phone, what man? Why y'all report me, man? Nah, I can't work. Y'all done took my license. You darn skippy.
give me that check.
They
bro.
gone.
Give me that check.
License is taken.
But I was, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to give them benefit of the doubt. But the reason being, when I have to, because again, that's what I'm saying. Here's the crux of this thing, right? Here's how deadly and lethal this can be.
Mm-hmm.
I was okay with that because I was an excuse maker myself. I had come up on obstacles or something like that and wanted somebody to feel I ain't gonna say feel sorry, but yeah, say feel sorry. That sounds grimy, right? I wanted somebody to feel sorry for me.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And be like, hey, yeah, man, well, let's just get it taken care of. And that's exactly what I did for him. Was like, hey, because again, I wanted to believe that the guy was gonna do the work because I was like, I genuinely wanted to believe that I was a good guy. You know what I'm saying? When in all essence, I wanted to be a good guy, but my bad roots, man, made it a little bit harder to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't okay with doing the work. The work to me didn't look like what the work really should have been. The work to me looked like a falsified effort, which I really didn't know was a falsified effort because I didn't have enough people around me to tell me the truth. You know what I'm saying? I had a person or so around me, and that's really enough. But when you're looking at things from a tainted viewpoint, then sometimes you don't really hear and see what the other people around you are saying. You know, especially when you think you may have it figured out. So the point is, look at how you respond to people. Like, that's a litmus test. Look at how you respond to people. Do you accept excuses from people? And if you do, what excuses do you accept? You know, if they out on maternity leave, that's okay. You know what I mean? That's one thing. But if you got somebody that's always coming up with an excuse as to why they didn't do it, I ain't charged my phone up. Man, you know what? I was supposed to text you. I was supposed to call you, or I was supposed to meet you to do this. And, XYZ happened, man. My windshield wiper flew off and my daughter lost her shoe. And, it's when stuff like that happens, man, okay, do you accept it? And if you accept it, you need to ask yourself, why do I accept it? Like, you really need to peel that layer back and understand why you accept it, because there's an underlying reason as to why. And it may be, hey, my dad gave me excuses. My mom gave me excuses. My coach allowed me to make excuses. I had teachers that would say, oh, it's all right. It's all right. You play football. I know y'all been practicing till 7 o'clock. Y'all winning. Y'all done won 8 games in a row. It's all right that you ain't turned the assignment in on time. And it's things like that. I was even thinking about it earlier. I'm like, man, student athletes, like I was a collegiate athlete, right? But I was thinking about this earlier, like student athletes, if they don't necessarily, if people give them more grace or teachers give them more grace because they're student athletes, then they really like that's in my opinion, just in the way I'm thinking now, like, man, that's setting them up for, failure. because they're not, we always say student athletes have to do more and work more than a regular student. But if they really don't have to go to class and all they got to do is practice, are they doing online classes or something like that? Then truly, are they really student athletes? Or are they athletes that just happen to be enrolled in school?
Steve said being a student athlete, I didn't have to do a lot of work, which enabled. Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely not a fan of enablement.
I mean, I took advantage of it. I took full advantage of it. I was telling my daughter the other day, like my best collegiate years was the first year in college. I was scared, and we had to do study hall. Right, I had to go there every day after practice for 2 hours and study. Right, do my homework and all that good stuff. Right, that was like the 13th grade. But I'm just saying, like, that part in and of itself is like, man, we are really putting people in a situation to set them up for failure, because we want they're going to want everybody around them to understand their situation versus executing on what they're supposed to
every single excuse in the book, will pop up. And that's why, like, in business, and Lamorne has been lenient on this one too, but when somebody has an interview and whenever somebody interviews with me, I intentionally allow them to pick the day and the time. Now, I have a window of time that is available. My calendar is only open for, certain days and times for interviews. However, within that window, you can choose whatever you want. I don't call you and say, you have to interview with me on this date at this time or else. None of that. I just send them a link to the calendar that I use, and whatever date and time that they choose is when they interview with me. People will call, oh, such and such, I got to move it, such and such, or can I, you know what I do? I send an immediate rejection letter immediately. Lamorne be like, all right, I think can you do Tuesday at like 197? Man. Cause I think or we could meet at your car.
Yeah.
Bruh, I'm not playing no games with these people. I immediately send a rejection letter. Lamorne will reschedule an interview 83 times. And then they show up in house slippers and rollers, and he wondering why, you know what I'm saying? Why? Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I know when somebody cancel on me, I delete their access to even be able to get back on my calendar. Man. And if they ever apply again, it's going to be immediate reject, because I see that the start of it is an excuse. Now, immediately out the gate, somebody done died on the day.
Oh, the day
you got every single thing. If they didn't die, so many people have been scheduled for an interview and their great uncle done died. I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. I don't know how many times they done died on their behalf, but they lied.
And my standards were so low. If you got an interview at 9:30 and it's 9:32, you ain't there. I'm like, I might call you at 9:35, be like, hey, just wanted to follow up. I know we had an interview scheduled. I wanted to make sure did you need to reach? Hey man, anxious.
Case in point. You know what I'm saying? I don't deal with the excuse, because I understand that how you start typically is how you're going to finish. You're telling me who you are, what standard you have from the jump.
Yeah.
If you come up in there, you know what I'm saying, and I'm talking about the top of your hair is on fire and you still showed up, I'm gonna say, I don't know what it is you got going on. Let me pour a cup of water on this, and we can reschedule.
Yeah, we can reschedule. Brandon, you right, bro. You right. Brandon, you are right. Man.
Yeah,
for real.
But I'm just saying that the standard
you're right.
You said that to me, it's across the board. Like if we operate that way, then people are going to literally say, oh, well, I was late for my interview. Please understand they're going to be late for their first day of work.
And just because
please understand they're not going to show up on the most important day that they're supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Please understand.
Man, I didn't wash my clothes last night. My pants was dry. Wet in the morning, man. I had to put them in the dryer, and I just had to come on, the best predictor of future behavior is a recent past behavior. You're absolutely right, man.
It's what you do every day. Because I always say, how you do anything is how you do everything.
And
I know that if somebody
realized it was the truth,
it is absolutely the truth. Because all of these habits are transferable.
They are
absolutely. They are. And just like you said earlier, if you are quick to dish out an excuse, you are going to be even faster to receive them. And I'm like, ain't no way I'm about to set my standards to have folk come in here late to an interview, or the interview supposed to start at 2:00. Like, because in some positions, I'll do a virtual interview first. Because especially if I'm looking for somebody that's, you know, in the customer service arena,
that's a little bit more personable.
Yeah, I want to see. I want to see, can they connect with me virtually first, then in person. So I'm scheduling, you know what I'm saying, the virtual interview. I'm sitting here, I'm prepped and ready to go. You know what I'm saying? My camera on, I done made sure all of my stuff is good. It's supposed to start at 2:00. And I get a message to say such and such, and reschedule the virtual interview to Wednesday now at 4:00.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you don't know how fired you ain't even hired and you fired.
Listen, Crystal standards are so. I'm telling you, I should have been adopted a standard. I really should have, because she would send out a link. She sent out an email that says that it gave specific instructions. You could have gotten past the interview phase.
Mm-hmm.
She would send out a link.
I could have sent you a official job offer.
And if she sent this link out and it says you need to email back to this. And if you didn't do that, you replied to the email that she sent it from. If you ain't read it all the way through, don't even worry about
offer retracted.
Don't even worry about
because people need to understand that this probably a whole nother podcast. I'm telling you, I could get somebody hired for a job. I'm talking about if you want your dream job, call me, I'll coach you up. Because every part of the process, it's a part of the hiring process. If I'm scheduled for a phone interview, right? Let's say it's not even virtual. Sometimes I intentionally only do a phone interview. Yeah. I need to see if you sound like a frog when you answer.
Yeah.
But you just set up the call, and I ask you to put in your phone number.
Mm-hmm.
You put your phone number in the deal, and you say this the number you call me at this time. I'm supposed to call you at 2:00. I call at 2:00. You just swallow the cactus.
Or
you just wake it up.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what if they out and about? Like, what if they like?
I'd be like, hey, it sounds like I caught you at a bad time. Doesn't really sound like a good time for you. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. Immediately get off the phone and send an instant rejection, because you scheduled this with me and asked me to call you at this time.
And you called and it sound like,
and I called, and you out here jumping out of planes with a parachute on your back,
right, with the window down. Yeah,
this is a job interview. But I'm saying, if my standards are that, and now I've accepted the excuse of, I'm running late from, you know what I'm saying, running some errands.
Right.
Come on, man.
Right.
I already know now that same excuse is going to translate over into my customer base, of which I cannot afford to do.
But you know what? When I look back on it and I say, man, I was super anxious. I was moving out of fear because I needed, like staff. I'm trying to staff up or whatever it may be. And I'm like, man, if you show up to the interview, you probably go get hired. If you just show up, you could even be a few minutes late.
What they got on?
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, man, for real, like that's kind of I was anxious. You know what I'm saying? I was anxious, but I had to get out of that. But I really had to peel back. Lemoyne, why are you doing this? Like, where's this coming from, man? Like, what is it? You want to be the underdog? Like, you was okay with the underdog story.
But that goes back to what I said a little while ago. It's having a foundational set of standards and morals of which you operate in. And this is not just in business. This is in life in general. Whatever standards and morals. That's why I don't have I don't want my standards to be, I want to have $1 million store, right? You know what I'm saying? That's a goal, right? But a standard is that I want to operate in integrity. Yeah. Right. So then that standard goes with me everywhere I go. I'm not in business when I'm operating in integrity. I'm in business. I'm in marriage. I'm in motherhood. When I'm a daughter, when I'm in ministry, everywhere I go, I want to operate in integrity. That way I'm practicing it constantly. I'm not just waiting until I get to football practice.
Oh, no, that's solid.
You know what I'm saying? Because most of the time we thinking that consistency only comes when the kicker gets on the field and they like, okay, I got to practice kicking. Yeah. But does he consistently turn in his work? You know what I'm saying? If he's a professional football player, does he consistently come home to his wife only? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like the consistency. So if I have a standard, I want to be consistently. I mean, consistent.
consistent.
I want to
Yeah.
I want to be conscious and consistent. That's a standard. That's a
Yeah.
moral value. So now it goes everywhere.
I got
And I get to practice it so that now when I hold up that muscle of consistency, I don't care what field I'm on. I could
It's
be
gonna be
playing
that,
football, basketball, soccer, anything. Consistency is going to show up and shine, and I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying is that if we take the morals and the values and we put those, you know what I'm saying, in our treasure chest,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, and we honor those, it doesn't matter what we're doing.
It don't
Out of integrity, I can't allow you to show up 5 minutes late. Why? Because the rest of my team don't get to do that. You're new to the interview. You think you can show up here 5 minutes late? And I tell my team, hey, early is on time and on time is late. You can clock in up to 5 minutes early.
Yeah.
So you might want to take advantage of that. I'll pay you 5 extra minutes.
Be here.
Be here. Because this is where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So then that same line of integrity holds to everybody across the board, everywhere I go and everything that I do. That's why I'm saying it shouldn't be that we set goals, you know what I'm saying, per se, to do something, or that we don't say, hey, I don't want to make excuses. Because if the standard is that it's okay, you know what I'm saying, to do that, then in any arena that we're in now, wherever we go, we can dish out an excuse.
Yeah. And I think
it's not okay.
Yeah, and that goes back to what we talked about last week with having like really good coaches that had high standards.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That made everybody hold to the same standard.
Yes.
And held you accountable for it, whether you was the star player or not. You was curfew was curfew. If you had to touch the line, you had to touch the line. If you had to run with that 45-pound bar above your head around that track, like Emmett Denson had to do so many times, then that's just what it was. I don't care if you was an All-American.
And we look at situations like that and think that because we're past that particular phase in our life that we don't have to carry those types of standards with us. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't necessarily the exercise that we were doing. We were building, like you said, mental fortitude.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times we're thinking, oh, so glad that phase over. And next thing you know, we on the couch for 15 years and
exactly.
When really and truly, we were wanting to quickly get rid of the more mental fortitude because we hadn't built it long enough. You know what I'm saying? And so we
really should have been transferred all the way.
We should have taken that everywhere that we go. And that's what I'm saying is like, if you don't get a grip on that, you'll look up, you know what I'm saying? And it's, 30 years later, I mean, we about to do both of our 20-year class reunions.
High school for 20 years.
Next month. And that's like, we look up and I'm thinking, I'm somebody's mama.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like time done just flew.
You still fine though. You're fine.
But I'm just saying, you look up and you lose all of those, you know what I'm saying? That when you're talking about being an athlete, we done threw all that stuff out of the window because we were so fixated on the fact that, oh man, I can't wait till this is over.
I ain't gotta wake up for 5 o'clock workouts.
When building
when I should be doing it now today.
When we should still be doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if we don't build that mental fortitude, or if we don't have the standard, then hey, it all goes to the wayside. We was chasing after the wrong thing in that sense. You know, but I just think it's important that we acknowledge, that those types of things are needed. You know what I'm saying? That hey, it's not that we're going after not making excuses. We need to really get to the heart of the matter, and that's really saying, hey, what standards do I want to live by? And if you choose bad ones, that's on you. At least be, you know what I'm saying? If you want to be honest about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yourself.
Don't say that you know what I'm saying, you want to operate integrity. Really, you want other people to operate integrity towards you.
Right.
You don't really want to operate in integrity. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be honest with yourself in those situations and say, hey, these are the things that, you know what I'm saying, I really want to go after as, as my set of standards. Right. And for me, you know what I'm saying, for sure, integrity and consistency are things that I don't want to do life without.
I mean, and the thing that the example just came to my mind was, could a thief get mad because somebody stole something from him?
And I bet he do.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but righteously, like, could a thief get mad? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just stole and stole, you didn't lie.
Matter of fact, the government get mad all the time when folk don't pay tax.
Well, that's a different podcast for sure. That's a different podcast.
They out here taking money left and right.
It's like, but real talk, like, like, hey, you done made excuse after excuse, but then when somebody give you an excuse, or lie to you or dishonest or take from you, then you like,
you mad.
Man, how could you?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how could you?
But what's so weird, right? This is what's so weird is that the thing that we sow the most, right? We get so upset when we reap it back. That's what is so odd to me is that, you know, we would the same person that will be consistently late.
Well,
I mean, never clock in on time. Let that check be 30 minutes late, dropping in their account.
Yeah,
let that direct deposit slip up and have a late deposit.
Because just like you said, though, their mind, their synaptic connectors have made it feel like they justified in what they did
completely.
You know,
I was like, just 5 minutes late.
Exactly, man. My dryer broke. I had to let my pants air dry. I had to, you know, like, man, I had to go out and get gas. I almost ran out, you know, on the way over.
Because you don't work regularly Monday through Friday.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it just that becomes a real legit reason. So then when, you know, that paycheck don't hit, you know, it's like, what happened? Man, you know what? We didn't turn over enough profit this week. Because your car broke down, or your dryer broke or whatever.
Felicia say we in their house. She say it's the constantly late for me. Listen, I'm just saying, man, like I remember a lot of times I would always kind of be a little flustered by, you know, how my dad did certain things, like just in business and stuff like that. Like he helped people, you know, do things for folks, you know what I'm saying? Just always just giving.
Guy,
man, just giving. Guy, I'd be like, man, why are you doing that? Or why you know what I'm saying? What? And then one day finally he was just like, man, you know, I just want to make sure I treat everybody right. I don't care how they do me. And I'm talking about like, for me,
he meant that.
Yeah, he meant it. And I when he said it and I knew that he meant it, I was like, all right, I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But his thought behind it was, look, I know they might think they getting over on me. I know they think, you know what I'm saying? They thinking they can, you know what I'm saying, get it from me, not tell nobody they done got it here, and then they go sell it 3, 4, 5 times. Yeah. Like, I know. He said, but that ain't what it's about. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to, you know what I'm saying, treat everybody right. He said, because somewhere down the road, one of y'all might be, you know, stranded on the side of the road and need somebody to stop and fix your tire. And I'm just hoping that all of the right that I did gonna be out there somewhere to get y'all some help when you need it.
Amen to that.
And I said, man, that's a standard.
Yeah. And you married me. Yeah. Ain't that? I'm talking about all of it paid off. All of it.
May the Lord watch in between me and thee.
Mr. Brown Mr. Brown is a stand-up guy, man. He is a stand-up guy. Like, he really is.
Hey, man, I'm off this podcast because this man, I'm talking about, I'm on here. Gave my daddy accolades and you done took that from me?
I ain't taking that. I said he gave it to you.
My God. That is some seeds that's still out there. We gonna gather them up. We gonna get this office one day.
Hey, man. Now, Mr. Brown is a good guy though, man. He's a super solid guy, man. But he genuinely means that. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him do it myself. Like, he does that, like, legit. But that's how it be.
I know. I was saying that though. Before you just stole it. You're talking about stealing stuff. The thief in the middle of the night. I was saying all of that to say that to me, that's a real standard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about, you know, how he was, you know, gonna do this, whatever. It was the standard was treat everybody the right way.
Yeah. Not
trying to get over on folk, not trying to make a quick buck, but treat everybody the right way. Yeah. So then it didn't matter whether at the time he was painting ceramics or doing, you know, vinyl work or, you know, helping somebody build a house or painting somebody's house. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It didn't matter what it was. He was going to operate that way every single time.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, you know, even as a young child, when I, you know what I'm saying, heard that and saw that was impactful for me.
Yeah.
But morals and values are impactful. Excuses just blow away with the wind. I don't remember all of the excuses. Yeah, I never will. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not important. Yeah. But that was said to me decades ago.
Yeah.
It's not forgotten.
Hey, that's hard. That's a hard.
I want to be remembered.
Yeah.
I just want to be forgotten.
Blow away with the wind.
Because they're important too.
You're right. It's like
once you say them, that's about as much merit as they have.
Yeah, that's it. You just want it. If it's believed in that moment, that's all it needed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's it. you're right, man. Golly, it has no root, no merit. You know
what can it catch a hold to? I don't know, but I want to be able to build, strong foundations, and grow on that. So that's my spiel on the matter. I say get you some morals and some values, build strong foundations so that you can build strong relationships, strong businesses, good reputations.
And stop just giving effort, and we all start executing.
Absolutely. Maybe one day I can cut hair. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe my reputation will speak for me.
We'll see. We may give it a go. We'll see.
Lies.
Hey, it is what it is.
He's not gonna let me cut his hair.
We may give it a go.
But we can't do it on a live video one day.
We can record it. Let's record it. You know what I'm saying? Let's just record it. We
no.
don't have to be live.
I think it should be live because I think people should see legitimately how you act. All right, guys. We thank you so much for joining us tonight
for it should be live.
Yet another live episode of Love and Business. Yeah. It's been fun tonight.
It has.
Great topic.
Yep.
Effort versus execution. So
yeah.
I hope that this brought some value to some people. I hope that you guys shared with your friends. If you didn't, hit the share button now so the people can go back and watch the replay. We thank you for your participation, your comments, and all your love and participating in the laughter in the moments of which it existed.
I think I'm gonna grow my hair out. That's what I think. I might grow it out, see what it look like. What you think?
I think I'll keep my options open.
That door been closed.
Hey, I do not want to see naps. I don't.
I'm gonna get it dreaded, get it twisted up or something. You know what I'm saying?
Grow it out.
And they do the
grow it out so we can
now. They make it look nappy.
Grow it all the way out so we can prove to the people that you don't have the waves you thought, because a low haircut versus a not low haircut.
Man, I got waves, girl. You get seasick.
All right, y'all. Hang up. Hang up. Everybody hang up. Just let the numbers go all the way down to 0 so he'll know ain't nobody listening to these lies no more. I like y'all. I love y'all, but we finna go.
We
it's
out,
9:30. Good night, y'all.
We'll see y'all next week.